Hi guys, I'm Keshav Malpani. Welcome back to 12 Minutes to CLAT. So a lot of you would be planning to start your CLAT preparation, or some of you would have started very recently, but most of us fail to understand as to what exactly is the syllabus for this exam. See, pattern तो obviously आपको समझ में आ जाता है, और obviously discuss the pattern again here, but we fail to understand as to how does this exam happen, what are certain things to be done. As a result, when we're not very sure of the syllabus, when we've not visited the website of CLAT consortium, we tend to do certain things that are not even relevant, and we give it a lot of time that generally wastes our time as well, right? So if you have just started a preparation or you are planning to start it very soon, this video till the end would help you with everything you require to start your CLAT preparation and get a very good basic idea about it. Okay, so let's quickly start with it without wasting time. यहाँ पर first very important thing is the CLAT pattern. Okay, so CLAT is, as an exam, is divided into 5 sections. ठीक है, this starts with the English section, and there are 2 sections, which is English and you could say logical reasoning, that has the same sort of weightage. ठीक है, so 23 to 25 marks and again 23 to 25 marks. Okay, so these 2 sections together covers 40% of the CLAT exam, right? Then comes current affairs and legal reasoning. ठीक है, these 2 sections are about 28 to 32 marks. So they together cover 50% of it. So 40 plus 50 is 90% covered, and 10% is data interpretation or maths. A lot of students make this mistake by skipping this section ki to 10-12 marks ka hai, doesn't matter too much. It does. CLAT is an exam where every mark would matter, and 2 and 3 marks would take you 1 or 2 colleges down. So it's very important to cover everything, and this is one of the easiest section also once you have a hang of it, once you prepare for it properly and practice it as well. Right? तो ये कुछ हमारे sections हुए. The exam very simply is of 120 marks. ठीक है? You get 120 minutes to solve it. You get a +1 for every right answer. You get a -0.25 for every wrong answer. Right? So that is why you can't attempt each and everything, because there is negative marking also. So you have to be, you could say, understanding as to what exactly to be done and what need not be done. Now let's come to the syllabus. What exactly do we expect in सारे sections में आएगा? The first section we talk about is English language. All the questions, by the way, are passage based questions, right? So English has passages of 350 to 450 words. जब आप एक बार सारा सिलेबस समझोगे ना, तो एंड ऑफ द सेशन में आपको ये भी बताऊंगा कि आपको क्या क्या करना पड़ेगा टू डू वेल. ठीक है? एंड रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन बेस्ड सेक्शंस, यू वोंट गेट क्वेश्चंस ऑन ग्रामर, यू वोंट गेट अ लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस स्ट्रेट अवे इधर उधर से. पैसेज से ही क्वेश्चंस आपसे पूछेंगे. नाउ दोस क्वेश्चन कुड बी फॉर एनीथिंग. दे कैन बी अ पैसेज बेस्ड वोकैबुलरी क्वेश्चन, दैट कैन बी अ क्वेश्चन दे कैन आस्क यू what is the central theme of this passage, what is the author talking about, you know, these sort of questions, what is the inference, they can ask you these sort of things. So vocabulary, theme, tone of the passage, and interpretation of passage, right? The questions are asked on this basis. You have in your school also done reading comprehensions, I'm pretty sure, but these reading comprehensions are slightly more difficult because the passages are lengthier, and obviously you have to be good with the reading as well. ठीक है? तो nobody at start is obviously good, but धीरे धीरे करके you improve. I will tell you the ways in this session at the end. Second is current affairs. This section takes least amount of time to cover while you are doing a mock test or the actual exam. It barely takes 10, 12 or by maximum 15 minutes. But while preparation, it takes most of your time, because 12 months के last current affairs you have to cover, and there is no fixed source. There are 5 different sources that you want to cover properly to be able to complete each and everything. One very important thing is you need to have comprehensive coverage of each topic. So if I'm talking about any topic, let's say I'm talking about Chandrayaan 3, तो Chandrayaan 3 का मतलब ये नहीं कि आपको पता होना चाहिए कौन से डेट को हुआ, किसने किया, हुआ the chairman and all. You should know about Chandrayaan 1, Chandrayaan 2. You should know about Indian Space Research Organization. There are other projects as well. In and out everything. So the point of this is CLAT consortium believes that a lawyer must know each and everything in and out when they are doing a particular thing or a particular topic or a case in hand. Therefore, they want you to do each and everything from a topic. So they'll give you a passage. Let's say they give you a passage on Chandrayaan 3 itself. Again, then they can ask you 5 to 7 questions on one topic itself. So अगर आपको in and out knowledge नहीं होगी, you won't be able to answer all the questions, right? So in news events, newspaper becomes very relevant for this. We understand what's going on, and obviously there are certain sources like compendiums, classes, and so on. History is has also become, you could say, very important lately, because in the last 2 years of CLAT, they have asked one passage each in both the years from history. So about 5 to 7 questions have been asked each year from history. So it becomes very important. It's although it's not a part of current affairs, but they're asking static GK also, right? And important legal updates are important. कोई ऐसा बड़ा judgment आया है, something like, let's say, the Waqf Amendment Act. No, these are legal updates, but they're very, very important from the CLAT point of view, because it's again a law entrance exam, right? So you have to understand it that way also. Then the third section is legal reasoning. Legal reasoning is new to you. For those who do not have 11th and 12th legal studies as a subject, it's completely fine. This has 5 major laws to be covered, which is contract law, law of torts, criminal law, constitutional law, and there are 2 or 3 laws under miscellaneous laws as well. वो छोटी-छोटी laws हैं, right? तो उसको हम ठीक से करेंगे. Like English, it also has 350 to 450 words passages. But if you look at the past year papers, आपको past year papers for absolutely free you'll find at 12minutes2clat.com. वेबसाइट पे जाओगे आपको मिल जाएंगे, वहीं पे आप डाउनलोड कर सकते हो. तो 350 to 450 वर्ड्स के जो पैसेजेस आते हैं, it is seen that English में this still restricted to 350, but legal में at least 2 passages every year are quite lengthy. So legal में you certainly take more time, and the kind of questions they ask you are also hypothetical questions. जैसे for example they give you any passage on any law. Let's say they give you a passage on constitution, कुछ भी दे दिया, criminal law पे दे दिया कि भाई murder का ये definition है. Then they will give you a scenario कि भाई X goes to Y's house, he plans this, he takes a knife, है ना, वो उसके घर में चोरी से घुसता है, and then he slits her throat, है ना. तो as per the passage, is this murder or not? So they will give you a lot of questions based on that. I'll give you a very simple example. The questions are slightly more complicated than that. So if you know the basic laws, you are able to read the passage quicker, and you are able to generally do well in this particular section, right? So this is also a tiebreaker. Let's say out of 120 you get 90, and there is another student who gets 90. For tie breaking this 90 and 90, those students who have more marks in legal reasoning will be considered further in rank. So that's a very important section. Legal current affairs, as we talked about here as well, is important from legal reasoning section also, because there have been certain years in CLAT जहाँ पर उन्होंने सिर्फ legal current affairs के passages दे दिए. So you should have a good idea. So that will cover in current affairs itself very properly, and not an issue at all. Then comes logical reasoning. Now logical reasoning is divided into 2 parts. One is critical reasoning, the another one is analytical reasoning. Critical reasoning are slightly more subjective questions, है ना. They'll ask you which of these sentences or statements strengthens a passage, weakens a passage, what is the inference, what is the conclusion, assumption, and so on. Analytical reasoning is different. You know, there are certain topics like syllogism, their family tree, blood relations, more analytical, more number based in nature. For the last year, they also gave question on analytical reasoning, so we will be doing this also in complete detail. So you have to how to recognize an argument, premise, conclusion. You know, ये सारी चीजें आती है. Particularly analytical reasoning में you get things like analogies, relationships, you know, these sort of things. Simple. एक बार ये समझ में आ जाए ना, you can in fact score 100% in this section, but this is a new section. So it takes some time for you to get through with these sort of questions. There are so many people in the first 2, 3, 4 months of their preparation face a lot of problems in logical reasoning, and they always say that this is our weakest section because it takes some time for you to get this section. But once you get it, 100% is a surety, at least in analytical reasoning. And a critical maybe if you're good at it, more than 90%. One good thing about this section is in almost every edition of CLAT, they have given easier paper in this section. Take a paper काफी easy standard का है. Then comes data interpretation. This is math. All of us hate it, but there is no trigonometry, there is no calculus, there is nothing. It's very basic 8th standard math concepts. So what they do is they give you a caselet. It's kind of a छोटा सा passage. उस passage के basis पे you have to make a table. Once a table is made, the passage becomes very easy, and you can solve those 5-6 questions within 2 minutes, right? But वो table बनाना important है. You should know the basic concepts. What are those basic concepts? Averages, percentages, ratio proportion, simple compound interest, profit and loss. ये सारी चीजें हैं. We did some time back in school. We don't exactly remember them. So for CLAT, you just have to do this. There is no trigonometry, there is no calculus, nothing. So that is a breather. So if you've not been good at maths, this is something that you can very easily manage. अच्छे से prepare करके, practice करके, you can quite easily manage these particular things, right? A lot of students also ask me about books for a particular exam. आइडियली मेरा सजेशन रहता है कि क्लैट के लिए यू डोंट हैव टू बाय बुक्स फ्रॉम मार्केट. वन बुक दैट यू कैन बाय टू इंप्रूव योर वोकैबुलरी इज वर्ड पावर मेड इजी बाय नॉर्मन लुइस. उसके अलावा बुक्स की इतनी जरूरत नहीं पड़ती बिकॉज ऑनलाइन रिसोर्सेज, सेक्शनल टेस्ट, मॉक टेस्ट, दीज थिंग्स आर गुड इनफ, है ना. आप उससे भी क्यूपिट से चीजें कवर कर सकते हो, राइट. क्योंकि बुक्स फिर क्या होता है, इट्स वेरी ओवरवेलमिंग कि आप ये भी कर रहे हो वो भी कर रहे हो, तो बहुत रेलेवेंट है. ठीक है. नाउ व्हाट आर द मस्ट डू थिंग्स. न्यूज़पेपर मस्ट बी रेड इफ यू फील, अगर इफ यू फील और इवन इफ यू नॉट फील, रीडिंग स्पीड एंड रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन इज नॉट 100% फॉर एनीबॉडी, राइट. So newspaper helps you with that. Every morning give that 1.5 2 hour to newspaper. जितना भी आपको टाइम लग रहा है, धीरे धीरे it comes less than 1 hour पे, है ना. On our Telegram channel at 12 minutes to CLAT, we give you free headlines of The Hindu and The Indian Express. इन दोनों में से कोई एक न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ना. लिंक टेलीग्राम का डिस्क्रिप्शन में है, आप देख सकते हो जाके. मॉक एंड सेक्शनल टेस्ट आपको मिल जाएंगे प्रैक्टिस के लिए. जरूर प्रैक्टिस करना. डोंट गो इनटू द एग्जाम विदाउट प्रैक्टिस. वी हैव अ स्कूल की हैबिट कि भाई पहले हम पूरे सिलेबस करें फिर हम प्रैक्टिस करें. नहीं. Within 2 to 3 weeks of starting a preparation, you start with mock tests also. Even if you get a low score, at least you understand how much do you know. है ना. धीरे धीरे करके भी keep improving on that. Classes are important for concepts. You can figure out any classes that you feel anybody who can help you understand things better. You can take those classes. And consistency is the most important thing. Most of us are procrastinators. Like all of us are humans. Humans are generally procrastinators. So we need to work on this. If you're really motivated from inside, ki yes, I want to do this for my career, I want to, you could say, give a better life to myself, to my parents and other people around me, consistency is going to be very relevant for this exam, right? If you want to study with us, we have recently launched a few batches. It's called LAKSHYA Plus. If you are a dropper, if you had already given CLAT last year, आप देख सकते हो. अगर आप फ्रेशर हो, you can join our batch UJJWAL Plus. Plus का पॉइंट ये है, they give you books and mocks which are delivered to your homes. आप अपने घर पे बुक्स और मॉक्स आपको मिल जाएंगे, वहां पे आप डेफिनेटली उसको देख सकते हो और एक्सेस कर सकते हो. ठीक है. फॉर एनीथिंग, अगर आप CLAT 27 के लिए भी प्रिपेयर कर रहे हो, वी हैव अ बैच कॉल्ड शिखर. आप उसमें भी मतलब एनरोल कर सकते हो. वी आर द मोस्ट अफोर्डेबल एंड द मोस्ट एफिशिएंट कोचिंग. मोस्ट ऑफ आवर एजुकेटर्स आर आल्सो alumnus of top national law universities in India. I'm myself from National Law University Jodhpur, and I will be guiding you with respect to everything, चाहे वो strategy हो, current affairs हो, and I have a team of outstanding educators who are going to be guiding for everything. इन numbers पर contact कर सकते हो आप कभी भी for anything that you want to ask. 12 minutes to CLAT का app download कर सकते हो from Play Store and App Store, and 12minutes2clat.com is the website. You already know that, right? So that's it about this session. All the best, guys. Prepare well. Any doubts in the comment box, I'll be happy to take it from there and answer it for you. I'll see you in my classes.